Hello there, welcome back to the Ogre, the old Git Reacts, Reviews and Off Times Reminiscences. Today we're doing Fellwarden. You have heard every now and again in the past. I'm sort of hovering over buying a previous album. I haven't yet, but probably will. But anyway, they've got an album coming out very soon, and there's an advanced track being released, and I'll listen to it, and I like it. So that bodes well for robbing me of some money when it comes out proper. So let's have a listen, shall we? Yes, we shall. So, any band that or artist that gives you have a crew new vibe has got to be a good thing. Now, this isn't a first reaction, as I've said before. I don't do first reactions or first time hearing, I should say, unless asked. Even then, it's unlikely that I will, because, as I've said in the past, my jaw won't drop. I won't have boggle eyes at the experience, so I'll keep it as what should I say? I'll keep a review reaction as one where I'm not particularly surprised, but I am informed. Yeah. Anyway, what was I going to say? I've lost my total train of thought here, but yeah. So I've heard this track one or two times, and although it gives that vibe initially, have a crew new type vibe, it's not a carbon copy obviously, but it gives you that sense. It does sort of develop its own identity very, very quickly, as I think we're about to hear. So let's crack on. So there is a triumphalism about this music. Whether that is something that's going to be throughout the whole album, I don't know. But it is a sort of bring it on, you fuckers, if you think you're hard enough. Without being Billy Big Bollocks, it is a sort of feels like a genuine sort of strength, rather than one developed through steroids. And it is that sort of music that grabs you and takes you along with it. You are conscripted from the beginning, and within short order, you're happy to fight along. It's rabble rousing, but you're all best mates very, very soon, and you're ready to take on the world. The song does change emphasis and direction quite a bit throughout its length, but it does evoke more ancient times. It does sort of bring to mind that sort of epicness of high fantasy and the like. So, but curious thing, I suppose, for me is that the artist who's responsible for this is in Fen. So he's gone from one extreme to another here, from Fen being the flattest thing you'll find in the UK, geographically speaking, to Fells, which are, for those that aren't aware, that aren't from the UK, the Fells are valleys and mountains in predominantly in the Lake District. So we've gone from the flat grounds to the broken mountainous ground elsewhere, which just tickles me a little bit for no particular reason. Just I suppose it's an extreme. But yes, this is it is sort of steeped in that sort of times gone by, and it is a story being told. You do get the sense of chapters here, and there's another one yet to come. So I mentioned the vibe, if you will, the atmosphere of this song is one of evoking ancient times. I guess it's a testament to the songwriting here that that little progressive section we had just then. I mean, that sort of music on its own, for me, doesn't evoke anything ancient at all. It just sort of bring me anyway, bang up to date as far as that sound is concerned. That may be because that sort of singing anyway reminds me of when I was very, very young and progressive music was in its infancy, progressive rock. And I mean, singing wise, slightly psychedelic as well. There were psychedelic bands singing in that way. But the remarkable thing here is that even though that sort of brought me bang up to date, if I listen to it in isolation, in context with the rest of the music, you are still within the story that's being told. You're not sort of jolted out of it. Yeah, that is a good thing, isn't it? Aye. Ooh. Cave dogs are at it again. Intruders. After this, I'll have to go and search them out and slay them. I'll borrow his sword. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so same singing, but in a different context. There is an element of progressiveness about this latter part of the song. Subtle it is, and the singing there doesn't have the same effect as the singing that I mentioned earlier. And there is a dourness beneath the sort of triumphalism here. There's a bit of a dourness is probably the wrong word. There's a drizzle, a bit of a sort of mist in the riffage. It reminds me a little bit. It is a little bit of Winter Philip. The sort of something that has a tinge of I'll use his term, exultance about it, but also a tinge of something darker there as well. But the main surprise for me here, and we're not done yet, but by and large, is that change in dynamics. I mean, I will listen to quite happily slow songs, but the sort of slow songs that I can listen to from start to finish are few and far between, and are of a sort of particular style and feel. So when I'm listening to black metal, by and large, I like it to be a rush from start to finish. But as I've said with other artists, when the composition is as good as this, I'm quite happy to have that range of dynamics involved. But anyway, let's see how we go to the end. So there you go. It's amazing how different music can have the same effect on you. So when I listen to somebody like Sangus, who sort of, after listening to them, you could happily walk into any bar in the world, and if the occupants therein decide they want a bit of a ruck, then you'll happily take them on. And this has a similar sort of effect, but not to go into a pub and have a fight, but to sort of take on your enemies and rout them and leave them devastated in the hills. It is a sort of it does lift you up. I mean, I'm not quite. I don't look at lyrics, listen to lyrics, so I'm not quite sure what the subject matter of this song is. But the feeling that I've got from it is I'm buoyed and emboldened and ready to take on the world. And that's not a bad thing, is it? As long as it's for the good, for the greater good. Anyway, clicky bollocks, catch you all next time. Cheerio.